It's George Tyndall, and I'm here to discuss a few things. Now, I know people are upset with me because of what I'm doing and the area that I'm going in and the direction that I'm going in. I'm trying to make people aware that you just don't go in one direction. And when you go in a different direction and you find certain things, it opens up the doors to be able to find other things and then understand some things that you don't understand when you find. Okay, well, now with that being said, there is a mystery. Okay, scientists investigate the cause of 5,200 craters discovered off the coast of California. 5,200 craters. Well, we'll go with that. I've heard numbers where it's been higher, and we'll just go with the 5,200. Okay, now they can't figure out why. Now, I think I have an idea, but this goes from finding what I found and comparing it to other things. Now, there's a good possibility that those could be craters that were created from a meteor shower in 1833. And, well, what led me to that possibility? Okay, from things that I've been finding, the way that certain rocks impact. Some will impact a little bit in the ground. Some will be almost completely submerged in the ground. Some can be several feet underneath the ground. But what leads me to believe there's a place called Sir Pockmark Field. Okay, it's what they call, it's where the 5,200 craters are. They took a picture of this. Okay, now by going what I know and everything, if you look at this picture, okay, you look at this picture, right here in the middle of this picture, there's one big, huge, round rock. One in this area. You look at the geological rocks or whatever around it, there's nothing else like that there. One big, huge rock. Okay, so going by what I know, I would be checking to see if that big, huge rock is actually a meteor. A whole meteor. And I'm not talking about little teeny pieces of fragments that you get. Now, if people would look in that direction, they would be able to understand some of this stuff, but they're going to say, no, it's impossible, can't happen. Well, it's possible, it can happen. Look at the Hoba meteorite, okay, 66 tons. That probably don't weigh no 66 tons, but I bet it's heavy, and I bet it's probably made out of amorphous metal. But that's my findings. Now, you can believe it, you don't have to believe it. But when they have no answer for it, they can't figure out why the holes are there. Maybe someone should possibly listen to what I'm saying, and maybe they'd be able to figure it out. But that's just right off the coast of California. I'm 40 miles in where I'm finding my stuff. Okay? Now, when you allow for distance and travel and speed and everything, yes, it is possible. A lot of the meteors that came in and that fell landed in the ocean. But I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay? It upsets people. And I'm not trying to upset people. I'm just trying to make people aware that if you try to look things a little bit differently than what you're looking at them, you might find the answers. Now, what leads me to believe that I'm more right about this meteor thing than ever that I'm on, and the hot metal shower and everything, is every one of these Every one of these in this picture is made out of metal. But if you look at these, that's like an arrowhead. That's like a tomahawk. That looks like a little bigger tomahawk. This is an Indian made out of what's supposed to be rock, but it's metal. And you look at these other things. These could be tomahawk heads too. This stuff, that stuff is what Indians would have made. Now, how old the stuff is, I don't know. But Indians would build their encampments next to where meteors would fall. But, like I said, you've got to look a lot of different things up. Personally, from the way some of this was manufactured, I think it may be really old. But I don't know. I'm not an expert in this stuff. But, like I said, you know, people don't want to believe you. Nobody wants to come out. Nobody wants to see. And that's fine. I'm fine with it. But everything that I'm finding is pointing to what I'm saying. Lo and behold, should somebody without a degree or a real super $1 million education maybe actually possibly find out something that could be true. Now, I got a picture of another rock that I found. But these are coming up metal, they're coming up magnetic. But really bizarre. But it's what gets me is the colors. The colors. And now this is one side of it. This is another side of it. The red, the green, and that white in there. All this white that you see. That is what a rock from Mars looks like. Now, I've seen the pictures that NASA has taken. There's no doubt in my mind, if some of this stuff was tested, it would come out. But, like I said, people, they're going to believe what they want to believe, and that's it. Nobody out there ever thinks that anybody makes a mistake. You learn from somebody, you go to university, you learn from that person, you believe that's the law, and that's the way the rules are. And if it doesn't look like what you've been told, then it isn't. And because nobody thinks that meteors can't land in the ocean in a whole piece, they're not even checking this stuff out, which is fine. But when you come up with things like this, and I'm going to go really slow at this. This is a solid piece of metal. This is a metal fragment. You can see the metal in it. If a whole metal rock like this can make it to the ground undamaged, bigger ones can too. And I'm just being honest with people. There are people out there that are totally misleading people. They want you to think that meteorites are such a rare thing. Well, I'm a big believer in Harvey Nininger, the guy who started all this. And his findings were that meteorites are more common than people are led to believe. If you want to go out and you want to invest millions of dollars in the meteorites and the stuff that people are selling, and it comes out later that I'm true, a lot of your stuff's probably going to be pretty much worthless. But no, nobody wants to look at it. Like I said, it's all a money thing. It's about making money. It's not about knowing the truth. It's not about knowing the truth. Everything on this planet is about money. Okay? And that is a true fact. Everybody knows everything is about money. Now, we know that the government doesn't do everything right. They make mistakes and they do things wrong. And they do things the wrong way. But why do they continue to do it? Taxpayers keep paying the money. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Anyways, I did find an interesting fact out. And this doesn't have anything to do with the research. It has to do with the Dragon Ball Z cartoon. I finally figured out how the characters go Super Saiyan. That's how they do it. When they're turning around with their back to you, Super Saiyan. Anything's possible. We'll call that good.